Hi, loves. How are you doing? Whether you guys are listening to this while you're getting ready for a bath, or you are on your way to work, or you are getting all your things set up to have a really amazing work day, and you're just, checking in the latest episode, I just wanted to send some love and gratitude and warm vibes to you. I'm sitting up on my bed right now thinking, like, this is pretty damn cool. This is my life. I just had one of the most amazing mastermind calls with my coach and some women that I am a part of a mastermind with. And then I hosted the very first LUXE mastermind call with the most amazing women that I am so honored to hold space for. And if you're not a part of our mastermind, girlfriend, why not? You need to come join us. It is called LUXE. And this space is really all about integration. It's about integrating and becoming the woman that you want to be and the leader that you want to be in your business and in your life. And so this space is for coaches and entrepreneurs that are service-based or product-based businesses and really are wanting to hone in and elevate their impact and their wealth and their money mindset and their energy around receiving and becoming that magnet that they really want to attract all they desire. So in this space, it's not about any one of us leading the space. It's about us all leading it together. And I think that this is one of the most amazing places that you can be a part of it. If you haven't been a part of a mastermind, I highly suggest it. This is not a program. It's not something where I'm coming in every single week with something to teach you. It's a space where, because the women exist, because they're being vulnerable and transparent, because they're opening up and they're experiencing breakthroughs, that you experience breakthroughs, that because you are allowing yourself to shift and to expand and to grow and to dig deeper and because the deeper that you go with yourself, the deeper that you can take other people, because you're allowing yourself to be open and transparent and put perfection to the side in this space. Everybody breaks through. So everybody gets what they need from this space and from this container of growth. That this is like now one of my most favorite places to serve in. My one-on-one coaching is officially sold out and capped out again for the time being. So this is now the closest way to work with me. Being in the LUXE Mastermind is actually, how it's set up is it's 2 bi-weekly calls. And then it's also a one-on-one session every single month. So if you are not already a part of this, please feel free to reach out. You can email me at autumn@bossybabecoaching.com. You can find me on any of the social medias and send me a message. There will be an application that I can put into the show notes below, just so it's easier access for you to kind of check out some more details and to get into access or contact with me, because I can reach out to you then from there. And yeah, it's just been a really great day. I'm just like sitting in my comfy bed. My kitty's asleep right in front of me. Baby girl Louie is just asleep, I think, in the living room. I'm hoping so anyways. But I just wanted to just preface this episode and I love being able to just chat with you first and foremost and just have this relationship and build this connection, because you guys are my people and I value and appreciate every single one of you. So anyways, I wanted to hop in. This episode that you're about to hear is actually a recording from the live video inside of the Bossy Babe Club, where I'm doing exclusive trainings. So if you want to be a part of these trainings, if you want to be able to be a part of the free coaching and have your questions be heard and answered, come join us. It's totally free. There's nothing that you need to do to be a part of it. It's just a community where you get to collaborate and connect and be able to be heard and have questions supported, and where I can give you some free coaching and love wherever I possibly can. So this episode you're hearing is a totally unedited, unfiltered, completely raw episode and live video from inside the Bossy Babe Club, all on course creation and programs. So I had asked a question inside of my group: what do you guys need to know, or what do you want to know about creating programs and courses? So based on the questions that were given, that's what this episode and what this live video was all geared around. So I'm sure that there are probably so many more things that I could talk about in regards to course creation and content or program creation. There's a lot more probably strategy-based things I could talk about. I could talk about marketing. I could talk about launching. I could talk about so many other things, but this is just kind of based on the questions that I received. at that time, I could always make a part 2. So if you hear anything on here and you'd love to hear more about that, or you would love to dive in deeper, you have other questions, please feel free to jump in here. Like, I'm here to serve you. I want to make sure that you get everything that you need. So the more that you are able to, I guess, let me know, ask for what you need, right? If you need something, that's one of the biggest lessons that I teach my clients, is that the universe loves clarity and money loves clarity. So the more clear it is that you are, that you want, you're going to get it. So if you want to come into the group, if you want to connect with me, if you want to share your, if you even want to find me on Instagram and just let me know what questions you have or things that you want to hear, then I'd be more than happy to create an episode or part 2, so then I can make sure that every question gets answered. So anyways, you guys, I'm going to let you get right into the episode, and I hope that you love it. I hope that it's helpful, and I just hope that you have the most incredible day. I love you. I'm Autumn Bensett, founder of the Bossy Babe brand, fitness coach, and serial entrepreneur turned intuitive life and business coach. The Wealthy Babe podcast is for the ambitious, courageous, and spiritually charged up woman in network marketing, craving wealth not only in her bank account, but in every aspect of her life. Get plugged in here each week for authentic and unfiltered conversations from myself and industry leaders who are going to support you and give you all the juicy behind the scenes and real talk around business, spirituality, strong points of view, and doing shit differently. This is a safe space to come undone, be heard, and be given permission to rewrite your own damn rules. So here we go. Hello. We are officially live. You guys, this is the first live video that I'm doing back inside of the Bossy Babe Club since Louis was born. It is just a week for getting back to all the things, podcast episodes coming out, live videos, free trainings. I'm so excited to be here and to be hosting this training for you guys. I asked earlier in the group if you would be down for some free coaching inside of the group a little bit more often. Hello, Kate. Hi. I feel like I need to do a Kate. Like, hello, Kate. Hi, Michelle. Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I already feel like so high vibe being back. I'm loving these hearts. Oh my gosh, I love you. Okay, Phil Bob, this is not the time. This is not the time. Hi. Okay, so what I actually figured was, what a beautiful way to kind of like double dip. I'm going to actually take, holy shit, he just jumped into the crib. You leaped. Good leaps, boy. I'm going to actually take this as an opportunity as well to here for it, right? Oh my gosh, I love you guys. Hi, Jen. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to repurpose this actually as a podcast episode. So I figured, why not jam out and kill two birds almost with one stone and bring some amazing content and free training to you guys, and then take it over the podcast for some solo episodes as well. So that's what we're going to do. If there's any more questions that pop up in regards to creating courses and programs, feel free to pop them below. I have some from inside of the group already that I have kind of written down, and I kind of, sat with a little bit that I'm going to kind of jam out with you guys here on today. I'm going to take a quick note. This beautiful piece right behind me, my gorgeous friend made for me, custom, like, I was just like, hey girl, I need one of your pieces for behind me. And she created this from like her own mind. There's actually a clear quartz crystal right in the middle. Can you see it? So good. So freaking good. I'll actually post her handle. It's cotton. I'm a really bad friend. It's Cotton Crystal on Instagram, and Crystal on Instagram and on Etsy. So in case you guys dig it, feel free to reach out to her because she slays. But anyways, I just put it up and I'm kind of admiring it, and I'm so obsessed. But you guys, I'm so excited you're here. If you're popping on, say hello. Let me know where you're at. Let me know how your day is going. And like I said, if you have any questions about courses and programs, post them below, because that's what we're going to jam out today on. Now, the very first question that you guys were asking me about courses and programs is essentially, how do you start? How do you start creating Beautiful. I think so too. It's so gorgeous. How do you start creating a course and a program? So I think the very first thing that I want to mention when it comes to creating a course and creating a program is that this is not, you're not doing this alone. So when I'm going to go and create a course or a program, I've done it from two places. I've done it from two energies. I've done it from the energy of, oh my gosh, I need to make money. I want to hit this goal. I want to do this thing. And those are not usually the programs that take off. They're not usually the things that are my soul's core purpose. They're not the things that actually feel really good. And I have done that in the past. And I'll be super transparent in saying that those are not the ones that ever really were successful for me. They were never the times that I felt really good about running them. They were never the times that I felt, got the most amount of people into them. So the very first thing when you're coming into creating a program or a course, it's the recognition that when you're doing this, like, you're in your soul's purpose. And the soul's purpose is not your own. This purpose is God's, it's source energy, it's universe, it's whoever you connect with. And you are the channel delivering the message that needs to be given to the universe and the world and the people who need you most. You are the channel. You've been put here for a reason. You are the in-between of, like, that's what your gut is, right? That's how you tune in. Your gut tells you exactly what that next best step is, what it is that you need to create. And you have to be an open channel to essentially receive that. And it's knowing you're not doing this alone. It's knowing that if something was put on your heart for a reason, it's because somebody needs it. So the first thing when it comes into creating a course and a program, it's that spiritual level of being open to receiving the downloads and that next step and what it is that you're supposed to give and create for your audience, and knowing that they need it if it's coming through you. So that's kind of like the spiritual side of it, right? It's that understanding, that knowing, that being open to receiving it. And that is a whole different topic that we can dive into, in the importance in being able to receive. I've talked a little bit about my podcast before, but it's something that I'm so passionate about helping with. So I'll definitely dive in maybe in another episode, another week, in another training, and talk a little bit more about the receiving energy of all the things. But on the strategy side of it, and like the actual, like, tangible, how do I create a program? Hi, Crystal. On the actual tangible side, and like, how do I actually create the program? What's really important is to understand the specific result. What is the result that your ideal client, the people that you are serving, want to get? There's a lot of courses out there, right? There are so many courses out there that cover so many different things. And I kind of want you to sit and think for a minute, what is it that attracts me to a program? What's the thing that attracts me to a course? What's the thing that gets me to buy it? Usually it's when you feel like it was created for you. It feels very specific to you. It's a very specific goal in mind. Throwing some out there, maybe it's how to sell on Instagram stories. Well, that's a very specific goal, right? That's a very specific end result. You want to know how to utilize Instagram stories better. You want to know how to make money on that platform. You know exactly what you're going in to get. You know exactly what you're going in to receive. It makes total sense. It's easy for you to click purchase because it's clear, right? You're not confused. You're not overwhelmed. You know exactly what the end result is. So that's one type of example from a business perspective, but there are so many different, obviously, courses that you can be running. So understanding what the result is that you want to be able to get these women, or whoever your ideal client is, at the end of the training is super important, right? Because then you're going to want to reverse engineer. You're going to want to reverse engineer all of the things, so then you can backtrack, or you can create the system in which you get them to that result. So creating your own course really just comes down to brain dumping all of the things onto a piece of paper. Every single time that I go to create a course, I think, number one, what am I feeling called to create? What in my soul is, like, what is that divine download? What am I being called to bring somebody into and to help them with? Sometimes I also look at what my clients are going through a lot of, and what I'm serving my one-on-one clients with, and knowing that in a larger capacity, more people need this program, they need this information, they need this result. So that's where I go and take it now into a program and a course. I've seen the results play out with my one-on-one clients. I've seen it be effective. I've seen my processes work. I have seen it all come to play. Hi, Jessica. And now I want to be able to bring it to more people. So that's kind of the intention of a course. I like to think, like, why do I feel called to run a course right now? Why do I feel called, right? Like, why do I feel called to create a course? Why do I feel called to serve in this way? Why do I feel called to serve in this capacity? And
it's usually because there's more people out there who need this message, and I have to get over the fact that I can't, or something that I've had to get over, is that if I want to reach more people, I can't just do it in a one-on-one setting. I need to be able to take all the things that I know that work for my one-on-one clients and take it into a bigger, more condensed opportunity for more people to learn about it. But it gets really confusing if I'm trying to do 1,000,001 things all in one program. So I like to be a little bit more specific. I like to know what the end result is that I'm getting my clients. And I really just like to listen to my gut. Like, what is calling me to teach? What is calling me to learn? Do I want this to be a transformational program? Do I want them to have information? What do I feel called in this space to really help them to learn? So essentially, listen. First question here is, how do I start and create a course? Listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. Okay. Know that you're not creating this alone. You are a channel to deliver the message that needs to be received. And then the second thing is really figure out what that end goal or end result is. Maybe this is something that you have seen your one-on-one clients do a lot of, and you help a lot of your one-on-one clients do, and you want to help a bigger capacity in it. Now it's breaking down all of the things. What works for me? What were my systems? What were the questions I asked myself? How did I get myself from point A to point B? Break all the things down, because right now, if it's all in your mind, it's really hard to create it into something. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Lauren. I wish my Insta or my Facebook would just like pop it down to the bottom, but I always have to scroll. So if I missed you, I apologize. But if there are any questions as well, you guys, or if this is hitting home, if there's anything that I'm asking that you'd like to dive into deeper, please ask me, because I'm here to guide you. I'm here to help you. I want to make sure that you guys get everything that you need from this. So specific result that you're helping them get to the end of. There are a lot of programs out there, right? So the more personalized, specific it is to their pain point, the better. The next question was, how do you gain followers and clients if you're just starting out? So this is a really great question, and there's so many different ways that I could kind of go into this, because I think we need to, there's something that we could address in the sense of followers and clients and gaining them, and understanding that, you know, in the start, you're not here to serve all the people. You're going to be given what you can handle. So if that is one, if it's two, if it's three, that's okay, right? It's not about gaining all of the people to sign on to all the things. It's about that one, which compounds to two, which compounds to three, when you're in an energy of receiving, celebrating, great gratitude for them, and you're in this high frequency, feeling like, I get to serve these people, like this is my purpose, and I'm so excited. Sometimes we want to jump from space, like right here, right, round one person, and then we want to jump to like 10K months. But the truth is that a lot of the time when I ask my clients, if you had the success now that you wanted 6 months ago, would you have been able to handle it? They're like, no. No, hands down, no, 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 because there's a lot of things that on the course of reaching those bigger months, or a lot of people in your group and in your programs, that you need to be able to learn, handle, and be able to take on to reach that level of income and what comes with it. So it's really being able to sink into the fact that I don't need to serve everybody right now. I don't need to have all the answers for every single person. It's not about me right now trying to gain followers and trying to gain clients. I want to make impact. I want to influence. I want to make a difference and a shift in this world. And that comes from every single one and celebrating every single one at a time. So ultimately, people buy when they trust you, right? People buy when they trust you. And I think a lot of the time we get into this space and then we're like, I just want to make money. But we forget that although time is irrelevant, although time is different to each person, it can take one single moment for a person to feel connected, although it can take one single moment for somebody to make a transaction and for someone to receive a payment. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. That time is individual to each and every person who does come into your container, right? If they come into your flow, whether it's through your Facebook, your Instagram stories, podcast group, however they connect with you in whatever channel, whatever time it takes for them to feel connected to you is kind of irrelevant, but it still takes some time. So what is super important is to recognize that if you're switching, if you're just new into this space, like you're just kind of new getting into what it is that you're doing, and or I guess if you're rebranding and you're transitioning your business, because I see this a lot with my clients, is that there is a period of time, again, where people got to get to know a little bit about what it is that you're doing, and again, get to know this trust in you. Integrity plays a massive part here. Integrity is everything. So show up, be the person that people are going to trust, do the things that you say you're going to do, show up when you say you're going to show up, right? There's an essence of trust for sure, or of grace. There is totally the space where, you know, you want to show up as your best self. There's days when I've been a hot mess mom and I've had a really an emotional day, and I have to be very self-aware of when it's time for me to give myself grace and take the day, but also to put the things in the boxes, you know, put the emotions in the boxes where I need to be, and be the woman that I know that people are going to be able to trust. Essentially, how you show up on social media and how you show up in that platform, whatever platform you show up on, is how people correlate what it's going to be like when they buy from you. So if you're saying you're going to do live videos, but then you don't do live videos and you keep switching the times for the live videos, or you don't show up when you say that you're going to show up, or you don't follow through on the things that you say you're going to follow through in, and you're not being the woman that you're trying to teach, you're not being your message, people can feel that, right? They can feel that. They can see, well, she's not showing up every day on social media. She's not being her message. She's not being her teachings. They don't trust you, right? Those are things that you need to, that's being that woman, right? It's being the woman that they want to be in that energy container with, which is what I'm kind of going to get into eventually. But essentially, people are going to buy when they trust you. Michelle, yep, I can attest to that. Yeah, girl. Yes, okay. The other part of this is that people, when they clearly understand what it is that you're offering, then they can also buy from you. A lot of the time, this is super common. I actually had a conversation with one of my clients about this today, is I looked at her page, and it's like, well, why aren't people buying from me? Because people don't know how to buy from you. Sometimes if they're not buying from you, you can see my real life room. This is real life room. Okay, this isn't working. That's all good. Okay. People need clarity in how they can get from you. You got to make it easy for people to purchase from you. So number one, you got to set the fucking standard, right? You got to set the fucking standard that it's easy to buy from you. You got to set the standard that that's all you expect, that people come into your space easily and effortlessly. You got to create channels that excite you and light you up so people can easily and effortlessly come into this container because you're excited and you're lit up about it. So you got to set the standard, right? You got to set the expectation that it's fun and easy and effortless for women to work with you. And that also comes in with creating clear offers, creating clarity around what it is and how to work with you. So having clear calls to action, clear ways they can sign up, links. Do they DM you? How can they actually get into contact with you? A lot of the time we don't have links anywhere. We don't tell them how to get into our container. We make a lot of posts, but we don't say, here's how you can work with me. Right? People want to work with you, but if you don't tell them and you don't create the offers or the channels to receive them, then they can't work with you. And that's a big problem. So that was something that I even looked at today with one of my clients. We were looking around at her profile. I'm like, I know what you do because I work with you and I love you and I'm obsessed with you, but I have no idea what you offer. I have no idea how to work with you, and I have no idea how to get into your space. And that's super important for us to recognize and take radical responsibility over, because if we are confused and you're confused about what you offer, then they're confused. Right? They're confused. They don't know how to work with you. They can't get in your energy if it's overwhelming. A confused mind is always going to say no. An overwhelmed mind is always going to say maybe. It's just how it is. So how can you create as much clarity around your offers and be excited about them? Be excited about the things that you're creating. If one-on-one is exciting for you, working one-on-one with clients is really damn exciting for you, then get your energy behind that. You're going to fill it up easily. If you are excited about your programs and you launch a program that excites you, it's going to be so much more easy for you to fill it up, because at the end of the day, the universe wants to provide abundance to you in the path of least resistance. It's when we're doing things that feel really hard and we feel forced, or there shoulds, or we're staying in spaces too long and we're not paying attention to the other signs out there, or feeling our gut and listening to our intuition when it's time to, maybe it's not working. Maybe I need to switch this up. Maybe I need to do something different. It's when we're not listening to that gut nudge that we ultimately don't get what we want to receive, right? Because it becomes hard. And the universe doesn't want to support what's hard. So people buy when they trust you. when they clearly understand how they can be in your vibe, that is huge. Is there any more comments? No. Making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. If you guys still have any questions, or if this is like vibing with you, let me know. Hi, Stacy. I see your little bubble there. I didn't see you pop in, so I'm sorry. It didn't give me a little green bubble saying Stacy. Oh, there it is. Now I see it. Hi, Stacy. Okay, so the first thing is start. Okay. You gain followers and clients by starting. And this is the number one thing that we fear, because what if people judge us? What if I look incompetent? What if I don't look like a leader? What if I don't look like an expert? Who's going to join me when I just start? You have to just start. And that's just the base of it. Everybody starts from ground zero. I started when I had nobody on my social media, nobody expected me to become an entrepreneur. Nobody expected me to do any of the things that I did do, but I just started. I started with one, and one becomes two, and two becomes three. But there's an essence of being so freaking okay with where you're at and not making it mean something about you. Because a lot of the time what we'll do is we'll see, well, I only have X amount of people in my group. Only this many people are following me. And we make it mean something. We put our worth to this number, and we say this number means that I won't be successful. This number means that I'm not going to make a lot of money. I've made 6 figures in a year when I have an email list under 700, and I barely sent a single email out all year. I have a group under 1,000 people. There's 500 people, 530 people almost inside of this group. I have, I think, under 5,000 in some. I have under 6,000 followers, under 10,000 followers, right, on Instagram. It's not about that, right? It's not about the numbers. It's not about how many people are in all the places. Hi, Mindy. Oh my gosh, all my favorite people are coming to hang out with me today. I love you guys. It's not about the numbers, right? It's really not. You make the numbers mean something, and then they mean something. If you believe that you need X amount of people to be successful, to make the income that you want to make, that's exactly going to be what's true for you. But it's all bullshit, because it takes one, right? It takes one person, one moment, one. It takes one. That's it. One moment, one person to change the trajectory of everything for you. And so that's why your vibe is so freaking essential, because the second your vibe starts changing and you start getting into the space of, well, I don't have enough people. What if my numbers are this? And what if nobody wants to join because I don't have enough people? Then we create this vibe and this frequency that's very low, right? It's not here. It's very much here. And people don't want to come and hang out in this space. It doesn't feel fun to hang out in. It's not exciting. It's not high vibe. They can feel that from you, right? They don't want to just be a number. They don't want to just be a number. They want to be impacted. They want to feel like they're at home with you. And so I think the first thing is just starting and knowing that it takes one moment. That's it. It's not about having high numbers to convert into something else. That's all bullshit. It only means something if you make it mean something. I've never allowed my numbers to dictate my worth. I've never allowed my numbers to dictate what's possible for me. I've never allowed my numbers to say that because I have this, I can only make this. You can have 100 followers and make 6 figures if that's the belief and expectation you set for yourself. That's all you need. It's all okay. It's all okay. Mindy, hey my love, I miss you. I miss hearing your voice. I miss hearing your voice. Sometimes I just I'll listen to I'll sneak on one of your Instagram stories. I'm like, oh my God, I miss you. I love you so much. Stacy, yes. Hi. Yes. Okay. I love that you guys are loving this. So essentially you got to start, right? Now the other part of this is you got to be the one who integrates her teachings, right? A lot of the time when people are following you, it's because they see something in you that they want in their own life, right? They see a sense of confidence, a sense of leadership, a sense of knowing who they are, a sense of following through, doing the damn thing, right? There's something in you that they want to ignite in them. And so what's most important when you're attracting in your ideal client and you're attracting in followers and clients into your audience, into people who are going to be in that funnel and work with you and be in your vibe, you need to be your teachings, right? You need to be the vibe that people want to be in. And that's not necessarily to say that you always have to be high vibe. It's always, who do you want to be? So even in the moments when things are hard, who do you want to be? There are so many times when my life, like especially this past year, when things were really hard, there were days that I was getting onto, I'm sure even like live videos that you guys have seen if you've been in here since I was pregnant, where I was like almost barfing, but I still showed up anyways. I still did the things when I knew that I could do the things, because I wanted to be the woman that people could look up to and be inspired by. And I wanted to be the person who showed women what's possible for themselves and showed themselves new limits. And I just had to show myself that I can meet a new version of myself. I had to allow myself to meet a new level of me and push myself past the point of what I think that I could do. Mindy, amen. I'm grateful for every single human who follows me. Yes, 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 yes. Hi. Is it Stasia? I want to make sure that I say it right. If you're still on, correct me if I was wrong. There's so many different ways to pronounce the name, so I want to make sure that I get it right, love. But hi. I'm so excited that you're here. If you guys have any questions, we're talking courses. So if you guys have any questions, comments, anything about the above, anything we're talking about, please feel free to post them below. This is going to become a podcast episode as well. I mean, why the heck not, right? Why not put all the things in all of the places? And you know, I got a lot of mamas here, so this is part of it. I know this is one of the things that we're talking about in the group today, and I'm going to do a separate live on this. So if you're listening to the podcast, this will be coming soon, but this is part of it, right? As a mom, you're busy, girl. You don't have to do all the things in all the places. Allow yourself to repurpose and reuse and get resourceful with what it is that you're creating, and really double up on your time. But anyways, you have to be the one who integrates her teachings, be the vibe, right? Be the message, be the person that people want to be attracted to. Think about, who would you be excited to pay? This is one of my favorite questions that I ask myself is, who am I really excited to pay? And I know that I love paying my coach because there's an essence of her energy. There's an essence in how she celebrates and who she is, who she shows up in all areas of her life. It's who she is. Like, she does not just show up one way here. She is that person in every area of her life. And I fucking love that. Like, I love that so much. And so I'm excited to pay her because I want to be in that vibe. I want to be in her container, in her energy realm, where, because I know that because I pay her and because I'm in this space, I'm going to naturally calibrate to the level that she's at. I know that it's not even a question. I calibrate to where she is because I'm in her container space. The other thing is really, you have to establish your expert energy. This is the strategy side of it, is that ultimately you have to establish yourself as an expert. And I don't necessarily mean like expert in the meaning of you have to know all the things, have the certifications, all that kind of shit. What I mean by establish yourself as the expert is show up and talk about what you love, talk about what you know, and talk about it over and over again, right? Let people see that you know what the fuck you're talking about. Let people see that you are, you're confident. Let them see your energy. Let them see who you are as a person, and that you're passionate about the fuck it is that you talk about. Because a lot of the time we're like, we make these like posts or some quotes or these things here and there, but we don't establish this energy of like, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Come work with me, right? It's this like, I want people to come buy from me, and then I'll feel like the expert. Then I'll feel confident in all the things. Then I'll feel like I can teach. And it's so ass backwards, right? You got to first believe, you got to first be courageous, you got to first be brave and have the confidence that you know what you're talking about, that this purpose again, right? That there's an essence to this, even this video, right? That I kind of prepped some stuff and I wrote some things down because I'm mom brain. That's just the reality, is like my head sometimes goes all over the fucking place. Hi, Erin. Hi, Kayla. Hi. So excited you guys are here. If there's any questions you have about courses or program creation, pop them below. Because we're chatting all the things. But there is, see, this is what I was, okay, mom brain. This is what I'm talking about, is I sometimes have to write things down because I do have mom brain. Like, this is just the reality. I hate kind of using excuses, but as soon as I got pregnant, like, things just fly out of my head while I'm talking, and I have to be okay with that. But there's a part of this that I also know that when I get on here, I have to trust in my voice. I have to trust in the fact that I know what I'm talking about. I have to trust in the fact that I have done this over and over and over and over again with my clients. I help all of my clients build all of their courses from the ground up. I help them all birth their ideas, their visions, the creation, the layouts. I literally help them do it from start to finish, all of it. And I have to trust that that's not just part of it's my expertise, that I know what the fuck I'm talking about because I've done it myself first. But I also have to trust that when I'm getting on a live video, I'm doing something like this, that the message that's coming through me is not just my own, right? Going back to that very first part is that there is something else greater than me leading this message and leading this video, and I'm the channel to receive it. So I have to be open to receive whatever message comes through me, which means I have to get out of my head and into my heart. I have to get out of here a little bit. And yes, I'd like to have the things and have all the perfect answers, but the truth is there's going to be shit that I forget when I get off of this and be like, oh, I could have talked about this. Oh, I could have talked about this. Oh, I could have talked about this. Like, there's so many things that I would love to teach and share about. But I just have to trust that whoever's popping onto this at this moment, at this time, whoever listens to the podcast, this episode, whatever it is getting what they need from this. I have to trust that because there's always going to be so many things that I want to talk about. But if I let that get in my head, then I'm just going to go I'm going to go crazy, right? Because I'm not going to feel authentic. I'm not going to be talking right to you. I'm going to feel mumbled, and I'm not going to feel good about it after. And that's not an energy that's going to attract more people. Mom brain is so real. It is. Like, it's so freaking real. And when people say that to me before, I'm like, yeah, girl, like, if you're not remembering it, it's just, it's not important. And holy shit, was I wrong? Like, so wrong. Totally a thing. Hi, Megan. But it's something I'm just trying to manage. And I'm like, okay, if I know that I forget a lot of things, I try to keep things around me as much as possible so that I can write it down so I don't forget where I'm going. I'm actually going to try to get, or not try, I'm going to get, because trying is kind of bullshit. I'm going to get a notepad thing for even in the shower because, girl, how many times do you guys get in the shower or have a bath and you have so many amazing downloads and then you get out and they're gone? Like me. Every damn time. So I'm going to create a solution for this. I'm all about solutions. So essentially, how do you gain followers and clients if you're just starting out? You have to just start. Be okay with every single one. Just talk. Keep sharing your message. Know that you're going to find your voice, right? You're going to find what works, what doesn't work. But this is where you have to be married to your business. You have to be married to your purpose. This isn't just like as long as, right? It's not like just as long as I'm making money, just as long as clients are signing up, just as long as people are coming into my programs, just as long as I'm making money. I'm married to it. It's not about the micro game. This is about the macro game. This is about the long-term vision in which I'm creating, and I'm all in no matter what. That's a super important energy to have when it comes to your business. And that way, when you have that, you don't feel this amount of pressure when it's just 1 or 2 or 3, because you feel this amount of gratitude knowing that because you're getting 1, 2, or 3, or 4, that like 10 more are on the way where they came from. And that's huge. I need 1, 2, me. Yes. Hi, Leisha. I think it's called Shower Notes on Amazon. My VA is actually creating or working on my website right now, and I'm going to create a whole page, which will be perfect for this. I'm going to create a whole page of all of my favorite items, like books, things for podcasting, anything that I'm obsessed with and I love and I use a lot. I'm going to put them on there. So then I have a really easy access point for you guys to get all of the things that you love and need. I'm all about this here with delegating and organization and simplicity for you guys, right? Going back, clarity, creating the easiest channels for you guys to receive is key. Creating the energy that she wants to be in, right? If she wants to be confident and strong and empowered, that's important for you to live that out. How are you living confidence and strength and communication, or whatever it is that you teach? Because everybody's such a different coach or has a different business here. But think again back to, what does my ideal client really want? What does she want to feel in her life? What is the result that she wants through working with me, from being in this course, from being in my energy? So it's essential that you figure that out. When you know that, am I living and breathing that? Am I being that confident energy? Am I being that strong, empowered woman in all these areas of my life? Am I living this out? Because what I notice is when my clients are struggling with content and they're struggling to create a program or a course, it's 9 times out of 10 because yes, that's what they want to teach. It's what they feel so called to teach and share, but they're not living it very strongly in their own lives. And so they feel this disconnect because they're not showing up as it. And then you can't attract the type of person. And in that state, you're usually attracting in the person who doesn't want to pay, the person who's asking for discounts, the person's just not really serious about your time, and you don't end up good. Like, you don't end up feeling very good about it, right? It's because you're not in good energy. So you're attracting people who are also desperate, also lethargic, also really exhausted, also really tired, also not really confident. Like, you're attracting all these people who aren't really ready because you're not in a ready energy. You're not in a ready to receive. You're in a low vibe, desperate, lack energy as well. And so it's kind of important just to do a little bit of a check on yourself and see, what's the vibe I want to create? Am I living that and breathing that in my life daily? Awesome. Okay. And then establish expert energy. Moving on. So how do we call in your perfect high vibe clients? So my first question to that is, do you know what this looks like? Do you know what your perfect, ideal, high vibe client looks like? Do you know what it looks like? A lot of the time we're like, I want this ideal client. I just want her to get it. Right? But we have really no clarity on who she is, what she looks like, any of it, right? So we got to get a lot of clarity on, what does your perfect high vibe client look like? Does she say hell yes like this? Does she make investments and purchases the second that if she knows it's on her heart, she's like, I want to do this course? Does she sit on the fence with it for a while? Does she have to converse to all of the other peoples about her decision? Like, where is she at? How does she make her decisions, right? Think about that. Is she a hell yes type of woman? What are the other types of qualities that you want to attract in? I'm trying not to be like an hour, like 2 hours of your time, because I have a lot more questions. So there's a lot of things I could go into this, and you guys have specific questions, I'd love to jam out. Hi, Megan. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm so excited you're here. So do you know what your perfect high vibe client actually looks like? When you know what she looks like, the next really step is, like I mentioned, is you need to kind of do, again, an inventory check on yourself and ask yourself, am I being these qualities in my own life, right? Am I making investments right away? Or am I sitting on the fence as well? Am I buying the last day or the last moment the cart closes? Because you attract not what you want. So often we're like, I want the client who says yes. I want the client who invests. I want the client who wants to pay high ticket prices. But then we don't want to go and invest in the coach. We don't want to pay the high ticket price. We don't want to say yes right away. We're not hell fucking yeses, right? We sit on the fence and we make it harder than it has to be. And then we attract in clients who make it harder than it has to be. So hi, my love. Hi, Kari. Oh my gosh, just all my faves are on this episode, on this live today. I'm so excited. So is this making sense, you guys? Like, I hope this is making sense. If this is making sense, let me know. If I'm just talking to a wall, then let me know too. But you need to do an inventory check with yourself. It's something I always do, is I look at myself and I say, am I being my teachings? Am I being the things that I'm calling these clients in for in this course, in this program? I'm being in the vibe in all areas of my life that these women are going to want to absorb into their own life. And when I'm not, my first priority is get that shit in check, right? It's not, okay, I'm going to launch a course right now. I'm going to get that shit in check, and I want to be my teachings because I want to launch and be in the vibe that these women want to be in. I want them to buy and purchase and make that transaction in the energy that I want them to be in, that they ultimately want to get that result from. So check if you're being your perfect ideal client, essentially. Hi. I have to catch from the beginning. Yes. Kari, I'm also going to put this into a podcast app, so you can catch it on the way from work, maybe one day too. Did I track there, or did I cover all that? Oh yeah, okay, the other thing was really set the expectation. So what's really important also, hi Alex, is that you set the expectation of the client that you're available for and nothing else. A lot of the time, we launch these things and then we kind of just throw it out to thin air, but we don't go all in. We don't go all in with our belief, right? There's like 1%, 2%, 5%, 50% of, is it going to sell out? What if it fails? What if it flops? Like, what if it actually doesn't work? What if I look like an idiot? And then we get quiet and we don't talk about it and we don't launch it and we barely share it. And we ultimately self-sabotage and create the outcome that we were in fear of. Right? Has anyone ever been there before? Only just got here, but hey, that's okay, girl. I'm so excited you're here. You need to set the standard, set the fucking expectation of what you're available and who you're available for, and not settle for anything less than that. So what I mean by that is that when you get tested with somebody who says, keep in mind that right before this, you said, I'm only available for hell fucking yeses. I'm only available for women that are all in, super committed. They're not on the fence. They do programs full out. Like, they are all fucking in, right? So then you get tested, right? The universe comes and knocks at your door and brings this girl or this woman or this potential client to you. And they go, Jane, I would like a discount. Is there any way I can get a discount on this course? Is there any way? I don't want to, it's too expensive for me right now. And then that is your moment where you need to decide the woman that you're going to be. That's the moment where you need to decide, am I going to go all in and prove that I'm all in on what I just declared to the universe, that this is all I'm available for, or no? You set the expectation when you get these tests, right? Of the people asking for the discounts, for the people who want you to make it work for them on their time, in their expectations, and all the things. You have to set the expectation of the people that you want, what you're available for, and that you're available for nothing less than that. I'm not available for any less than this type of people. I'm not available for anything less than this type of an income. I'm not available for any less, available for anything less than this amount of people into my program, or this impact my program. You have to set the expectation. I'm going to come back to these comments in one hot second. Realizing my computer's dying, so I might have to plug it in. But essentially, getting back to that is setting the expectation. It's so fucking important that you set the standard, because the universe matches where you're at, right? And money matches you where you're at. It matches you where you've already decided you can receive at, and it's not going to provide you more than that. It just won't. So you have to decide where you're at, what you're ready to receive, and then money and the universe will meet you there with the clients, the people, the experiences, the opportunities. You feel me? Stacy, are you going to make that certificate to teach what you teach and whatnot? Yes. So it is going to be a little bit of a process, because I'm going to have to go through and figure out all my methods and go through all the things, but I absolutely am. I'm going to be creating a certification for sure, where I will teach you how to teach, essentially like me, and to teach my methods. So what will happen is, it's a really great opportunity, because you can either take that and go and just teach underneath my certification process and take the resources and the trainings and be able to teach what I teach in the way that I teach it. Because right now, I know that I've had certain clients, I've had certain people that will take a lot of the things that I have taught and kind of make it their own. And right now, there's not much that I can kind of like do about that, because I don't have a certification. But down the road, if I do have a certification, then it's like you can only teach the things that I'm teaching if you have the certification, which is huge. But then that's also really amazing opportunity, because those will be the people that I will trust to come in and help within my courses and to help me, and I can potentially bring to clients to coach underneath me, or to help that I can direct my clients to, that reach out to me, but I'm full. And so kind of helping you guys build your practice. So I'm really, really excited about it. Kayla, I'm literally soaking in the sun at the park right now to get back into my high vibes before I make my marketing videos. Yes, I love that. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I feel yellow. I'm wearing yellow because I'm trying to soak in the sun vibes too. I napped this morning, get some more energy. Yes. Those proven moments, 100%. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I hope this is making sense so far. Now, the next question was essentially equipment. What kind of equipment to not look like an amateur? And I say this, like, look like an amateur, because I think we need to first kind of establish that done is always better than perfect. When I first started stuff, right now I'm on my bed. Again, done is better than perfect. My computer is sitting on top of one of my pillows, and that's fine. I have headphones that were $20. It's fine. And I'm doing it on my computer. It's fine. I don't have a ring light. I have some sun from outside, and it's all freaking fine. Of course, there are always things that you can have to elevate your branding, to elevate your visuals, to elevate all of the things. I am going to have to plug in my computer at some point because I talk a shit ton. But anyways, I will continue until it gets a little bit more. I guess I digress here. Okay, getting back into this. So equipment. I guess it depends on what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're creating, and if it is a course, and what type of course. So I've run a lot of my courses just through Facebook groups. So I use my computer a lot of the time, whether it's like my big laptop computer in the office, which the reason why I'm in here is because I'm redoing like my whole office stuff. So post baby, close, all of the things. I need to get my life in order in that room. So I'm going to redo my office and get a beautiful new backdrop and all the things, and organize it with new desk and just like get a new vibe, you know, like I just need to like post baby, new vibe, new me, changing all the things. So anyways, I digress once again. That's how I run my programs a lot of the time. If I get some good like sunlight, I'm good. I do have a Diva ring light. So I have a Diva ring light in my office. I obviously don't put it in here because it's just too bulky and big, but I do have a Diva ring light that I use in there. I did create kind of like a backdrop essentially to some degree, but it's really not that important to have all of the bells and the whistles. If you are podcasting, it is good to get some better audio. The reason why I use these right now is because I was podcasting on my other computer, and for some reason I had this really bad audio. If you go back into some of my middle, I think, episodes of my podcast, there were a couple episodes where things sounded like an alien. It was so weird, and I still can't figure out why that's happening when I get other types of microphones plugged into my computer versus this. It won't happen on one of these. So I don't quite know why it does that, but that's why I'm using these for now. But I am also going to be investing in like a really beautiful like headset with a mic because I just dig it. So I'm going to do that for my podcast. But when it really comes to your courses and your programs, I think the most important thing to kind of look at is when you're first starting, done is better than perfect. My very first program that I ever ran, I created, I believe I actually did them all through, no, I just recorded them. Like I just recorded my videos and I plugged them all into a Dropbox. Actually, I plugged them all my modules into a Dropbox folder. I had a Facebook group, and then I ran group coaching sessions over Zoom. And that's just what I did. I just did with what I had. And I think that's so important. So many of us are waiting for the perfect thing, the perfect stuff, and we're waiting and waiting and waiting. But that's all bullshit, because at the end of the day, people are buying from you because of the perfection and the aesthetics and all the things. It's great. It builds confidence. It feels good. But people are buying from you because of the impact. That's what people are going to feel leaving that. It's going to be your message and your feeling and your vibe. It's not about all the other shit and the bells and the whistles. Yes, it's great and it's nice, but do it when you have the time for it, the space for it, the energy for it. Shit. Okay. I need to plug in this computer. I should have done this beforehand, you guys. Give me 1 second. I had to pull my bed out because my plugin is behind it. Okay. So my first program, see, this is what I mean. It's like, fuck it. Just do the damn thing. Just do the damn thing. It's all good. If people don't like it, that's on them. I don't like it, it's on them. So I did my first one ever through Dropbox, and I had a Facebook group, and that's just how we communicated. That's how we did the things. I dropped them in there. I let them know when they were live, and we just did our Zoom calls, and that worked. That worked for the first bit. But then I decided I want to charge more for this program. I want to like increase the price substantially. So then that meant that I needed to kind of up level some things. So I up leveled my workbooks. I made them more beautiful. I up leveled the place that I was hosting them in. So that's when I invested in Kajabi, because I wanted to have a more professional space to host them. But that was more because I knew as a consumer that if I'm going to be investing $1,000 into a program, I want to be able to have a space where it's easy for me to access it. It's more visually appealing. I can post comments in it. I just like things that are easy to access as a consumer. So that's the reason why I decided to invest in that. But I didn't wait for it to get started, I think is the most important thing, right? Like I don't wait for shit to start. I just do the damn thing, and then I kind of adjust as I go. So those things are all great, you know, get a beautiful mic. I started with a blue snowball. I got the Yeti after, but I ended up taking it back because it wouldn't work on my computer. And now I just use these $20. Yeah, these ones are $20, I think. They were like skull candies or something, and they work just fine. So again, done is fucking better than perfect. Okay. What else? Okay, how do you inspire others to take action? Okay, this was a really good question. So I kind of summed it up. How do you inspire other people to take action? But I think the actual question was, how do you inspire other employees or clients to take action in their life and their business? So the way that I really answer this, what comes through for me is you're becoming available for these types of people, essentially. Oh, I missed something. Okay. Alex, sometimes I get so distracted by ring lights making these little rings in people's eyes that I stop listening. It's so true though, right? It's so true. And you can get even smaller ones. You can get like iPhone ones that are like 18 bucks, a little ring light that kind of like hooks off a desk for your phone. So literally if you have your phone, and you can get an $18 little ring light and you're golden. But that's just if like, nobody likes when you're sitting in the dark. Like I think that's the only thing is nobody likes when you're sitting in the dark. If you have like beautiful natural light, you're cool. But if you're like sitting in the dark and it's really weird, that's kind of, yeah, it's kind of creepy. Nobody digs that. That's what I say with my podcast, 100%. You're going to find your people, right? So in this, how do you inspire other people to take action? I think that sounds like a lot of fucking responsibility, you know, like it sounds like a lot of responsibility. That's what comes through me is I don't try to force other people to take action. I don't feel like it's my responsibility to inspire other people to take action. What I focus on is myself. I focus on being the woman that I need to be because I know that when I focus on being the woman that I need to be, my clients are going to naturally follow that lead. My clients and my audience, my whoever it is that feels called, they are going to become and take action and calibrate with me. So they're going to see the things that I'm doing. And it's not because I'm saying it, because people can take in information all you want. But the change happens when you're living it, when you're actually sharing how you're experiencing it. So many people take information from a book they read and teach it. They take a course and then they teach it. They hear it and they teach it and they see that they know it. That level of integration is two totally different fucking things. Two totally different things. And when you're actually integrating versus just saying like, I celebrate all the things, but you actually go out and celebrate the thing and then you post about the celebration and how it feels when you're celebrating it, now you've reached a new level of leadership. Now you've reached a new level of influence. Now you've reached a new level of impact. And that is something that it doesn't matter how many times you tell it, it will never impact it the same way as if you actually live it. Because when you live it, you give actual permission to your other clients and the audience to do the same thing. So I don't try to focus on how can I inspire other people. I focus on how can I be the version of me that I want to be. And I'm only going to attract who I am, because again, going back, as much as we want to say, I want this, I want clients or I want people on my team, I want clients who do all the work and get massive results. Well, that's all great and all, but you don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. So you first have to lead the way. You have to be the person who shows full out to the courses or to the programs and does the thing that you say you're going to do. You have to be the one who does the work. You have to be the person that you want to work with, essentially, right? Being your ideal client and just trusting and knowing that you're not responsible for other people's success. You're not responsible for other people's results. You're responsible for being the connector and the tool, or the connector to the tools and the information and the space and channel of transformation. And it is up to them to take it and to do with it what they need to do with it. Everybody's going to have a different experience, but it's up to them to take action, right? It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on any specific person to feel like you're responsible for the transformation or inspiration for other people to do the shit in their lives they need to do. It kind of goes back to, again, being like, these are the people I want to work with. These are the people I want to attract in, and I'm only fucking available for that. Like, I'm not available for anything less than that. Like, I'm not down for it. I don't want to work with that. I don't want to be attracted to that. So no, it's not your job, and lead, right? Be the leader of essentially your ideal client. That's what I say in my podcast. I'm going to do another photo shoot after we move and have Shauna rebrand everything. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, Stacey. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like. You inspired by asking the hard questions and making us think. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's huge for me. I really think that's a massive part of what this coaching is. Coaching isn't just about, well, programs, essentially, like when people are coming into your programs, they're coming into these programs to hear you speak, right? They're coming in these programs to learn something from you. But coaching in general is about having your clients be heard. It's about having them be heard in your space. So one-on-one containers, coaching, things like this, it's allowing them to be heard, their problems to be heard, their struggles to be heard, where they're at to be heard. And that's a very beautiful opportunity. And so asking those hard questions is one of the most important things that I feel coaching really does. Absolutely, I totally have the mini one. Not hating on them. They work really, really well, even if they're distracting, and that's better than being creative. Yeah, no one likes to creep in the dark, but it's one of those things, like, if you want to get one, that's amazing. If you don't get one, that's okay. I think it's giving yourself grace always, like, kind of just piggybacking on that. It's giving yourself grace in your journey, not feeling like you have to arrive and be at that expert level of like where somebody who's been doing this for 10 years is right now. It's okay. If you're just starting out, do with what you got and allow yourself to invest in these things, but don't wait for any of these things to do the things. You know, maybe if you don't have a ring light and it gets dark, well, just do your live video the next morning, maybe, versus in your car and nobody can see you, but like the little pieces in your eyes, the little whites in your eyes, because I've totally done that myself. Anyways, I digress again. What was the other part? Giving grace. Sorry, I'm going to go back to this question because I think I didn't write it fully down. I think it was giving yourself grace in the beginning. Hold on. I will find it. I thought I had this pulled up. I didn't. Oh, yeah. Okay. How to find balance amidst the hustle, giving yourself permission to rest like you have in your goddess days when you are still in the beginning and growth phase of your business. Yes. Okay. This is an important question. So I think what came through me with this one is that it looks different for you at every stage of your journey. At the beginning of my journey, I don't think that I would have felt okay. Maybe that was a resistance block. I don't know. But I think the way that I see it is that at the beginning, I wouldn't have probably taken a full goddess day. I wouldn't have, because I was working a full-time job and I was in university full-time. I didn't have the space when I was building my business in the very beginning to take a full day off of all of the things. I didn't have that. But I did have an hour every morning for me, where I allowed myself to balance it. I had time for myself. I had to take time on the weekends when I could. Like, I had to give myself space and grace when I could. But if there's a reason why you're not giving yourself grace and space, you need to kind of assess right now, why am I afraid to slow down? What am I afraid? Like, what's the fucking rush? Right? We're always in this rush. I feel like a lot of us are in like this rat race, and it's like, who can get there faster? Who can get to that month faster? Who can launch this thing faster? Who can do this thing faster? And like, we're all like racing and rushing against each other, and it's so competitive and icky. It's like, it's not a good energy to be creating your courses in, or to be creating clients or business from, because you can sustain anything for a really short period of time, but what happens down the road, or a year down the road, or 2 years down the road, when you look at your life and all the things and you're like, this isn't sustainable, and I have all this money, but I don't know how to take a break. And this is very real for a lot of people. And it's something that I had to work through myself. So I completely understand anybody who has been here and walked through this, because I walked through it with you. But know that money always amplifies where you're at. So if you have little money right now and you're so fucking busy that you don't know how to take time for you, and you don't know how to just like relax, sit in a bath, go celebrate the things, celebrate your successes, celebrate the one, celebrate the two, take time for you, decompress on a low level when the money is maybe not there where you want it to be. You're not going to be able to do it when you have a lot of money. Can you imagine, like, it's for a moment, imagine how busy you are making $500 a month. Imagine how busy you are making no money a month. Imagine how busy you are making $1,000 a month. Now imagine what comes along with 10K months or 20K months, right? How many more clients you might be taking on, how many more programs you might be running, how many more energies are in your field, how many more things you're doing, a team that might be helping you. There's a lot more stuff that goes on the more money that you make. And so it's important for you to know that money only amplifies where you're at. So if you struggle to take time for you right now when you don't have the money, you're going to struggle immensely to take time for you when you do have the money. And that's going to feel really, really hard and really icky. And that's where we tend to self-sabotage things, and we just like completely go MIA. We break everything down, and we're like, I can't fucking sustain this because it doesn't feel good to me, and this doesn't light me up, and I want to do this differently. it's kind of saving yourself from that essentially, and allowing yourself now and to take the moments when you can take them, and giving yourself grace and seeing what that looks like for you. What does giving myself time and goddess moments look like for me? Sometimes that is literally just a bath. And if you get 20 minutes for a bath and you turn all your phone, social media off, and you just allow yourself to be, you put some roses and rose petals and some candles, and you turn down the lights and you just put on some meditation music and you allow yourself to be, that's huge. Right? Celebrate the fact that you're allowing yourself the space and the time to do that, because that's you receiving. And again, that's totally another different conversation, but you have to start in some way now. Now down the road, for instance, with me, I have, I have a lot of clients, and I spend a lot of my week on calls. I'm podcasting. I'm on other people's podcasts. I'm doing summits. I'm email marketing. I'm on all the social medias. I'm revamping courses. I'm planning a retreat. I'm trying to plan, this coaching certification. Like, there's so many things going on in my mind and in my head, but now I also have a little one. And so my priorities to some degree have kind of changed a little bit. Hi, Trisha. Hell yes. Love my bath time. Yes, girl. Yes. My priorities have kind of changed a little bit, right? So I know that something that's very important to me is being a present mom, being present for Louie, being present for Derek, being present in all areas of my life, because the women that are working with me, they don't want to just learn how to build a very lucrative business. They want to learn how to build a lucrative business and live their life, right? They want to actually live their life. They don't want to just sit behind a computer screen and do all the things and feel successful based on money. So a big part of what I'm doing is actually intentionally being my teachings, right? I'm setting the time aside because now I'm in a space where I don't have a full-time job other than what I'm doing, right? This is my full-time gig. This is my life. I've been doing this now for 4 years. So I'm in a season, or 5 years, 4 years, 4 years full-time. Now I'm in a season where I can take that day. I can feel financially, and I've worked through my blocks and taking time for myself and feeling like I can't set this time aside, knowing that for me to scale to where it is that I want to go, I need to take these days off. But I have the space for it. I have the ability to do that, whereas maybe I didn't have that when I first started. But when I first started, I maybe had moments. I maybe had an hour. I maybe had 20 minutes for a bath. I maybe had that time in between. That's where I had to take it and be okay with not doing the things that I felt like I had to do. Like, commenting on all the things could probably wait till tomorrow. Brain dumping more things about this thing that I'm trying to force a program out of my head because I feel like I should, that can wait till tomorrow. Like, there's certain things that you can look at your list and say, do I really need to do this right now? Is my heart calling me to this? Or would it be more beneficial for me to go and take some time for me? And will everything still survive? Will the world still spin tomorrow? Yeah, it fucking will, right? It will. Everything will be okay. There's a point where you do the things that you need to do to move your business forward, and all the rest can wait. Okay, what else was I thinking about? Okay, the other part was, I think sometimes when we do this to ourselves, we're also confirming that making money has to be really hard. Again, we get to set the fucking standard that making money gets to be easy. So why can't you set the expectation that when you bathe and you go have a goddess bath, or you go have a goddess day and you actually shut your phone off, that's when you make the most fucking money that you've ever made in your life? Why can't that be the day when clients are messaging you when you're completely turned off? You get to set the expectation, remember, but we create the blocks that put up in our way. When we start to believe that nobody can work with us and nobody's going to reach out to us, and how can we make money if we're not actually showing up and we're not there that day and we're taking time for ourselves? Well, that's going to be exactly what happens in our life. That's going to be exactly what plays out in our business. But if you set the expectation that it's not the moments that you're actually sitting in front of the computer, right? It's not the moments I'm doing this live that people are like, I want to work with you, and I want to sign up, and the PayPal dings are coming through. It's literally when I turn off the live video, I go sit with my family, I shut off for the night, and like I put my phone away, that I wake up to the dings from my PayPal. That's the moment. It's not all of this, right? It's co-creating. It's doing the work and then stepping back and receiving. Showing up, doing the work, stepping back and receiving. But you have to allow yourself to let it be easy, right? If you're going to want to confirm time and time again that it has to be hard when you undercharge, you overgive, you are burnt out, you don't allow yourself to step back from your business, you work with clients that don't serve you. This is you time and time again deciding this has to be hard, this can't be easy, therefore I'm going to make it hard on myself, even if it's subconsciously and you're not doing it with full intention to do it. That's my biggest issue. Not prioritizing my time. And this I think the beautiful thing here, Trisha, is you're aware of it. If you're aware of that, you're not prioritizing your time right now. Something I would just sit there and look at is, so what is working right now and what is not working? Where could I show up a little differently? Where can I manage my time a little bit better? What are the activities and the things that I'm doing that are bringing me joy, that are lighting me up, that are, what are the things I'm doing that are shoulds, that are not lighting me up, that I'm kind of doing because I think I have to do? What are the things that would move me closer to what it is that I want to do today? And just kind of being able to block, make a priority for those few things. And then if other things get done, that's amazing. Kayla, what if I have been doing self-love for the past 2 days? Literally slept for 2/3 of the day yesterday. I thought today I would wake up with hella energy, but I still feel drained. So continue self-love today. Headed to the sauna after this call. So is the question, Kayla, like what if I've been feeling like is too much self-care or too much self-care? Like where's the line, essentially? If that's the question, I think the biggest thing is we go through seasons of our life, right? Like, you go through sometimes where you're really, really sick and maybe you're vomiting, or you have a loss in your family, or, you are super drained, or you're going through health things. Like, you know when you can show up and do the things, when you're bullshitting yourself, when you're just telling yourself, like, I can't do it, I'm really tired, I'm scared to show up, and you're making yourself exhausted. Like, when you're doing that versus when you really need just that rest, when your body is genuinely telling you need to stop and slow the fuck down. And when that moment is, if it takes you 2 days, if it takes you 3 days, if it takes you a week, do it. Sometimes you're transitioning, you work full-time jobs, and you're transitioning to being a full-time entrepreneur, and not a lot of the time do we give ourselves time or vacations as entrepreneurs as people do when they work in full-time jobs and corporate jobs. They can take a week off and they'll go and stay at a vacation resort and they'll turn everything off. That doesn't happen for me as an entrepreneur. So I have to really diligently and intentionally try to do that, because that's not the same. I don't have that same ability as somebody who works a 9-to-5 corporate job. So sometimes you kind of need to give yourself a little bit of grace and see, like, where am I being hard on myself for taking a little bit more time than what is deemed normal? Right? What if a day is too much? Like, what is that making me? What am I making that mean about me? Am I making that mean that I'm lazy? Is that making me mean that I can't be successful? Nothing's going to fall away if you take a weekend off, right? Nothing's going to fall away if you take a few days off in the middle of the week. It's all good, right? It's how you believe about it, but be honest with it. Allow it to be a really beautiful teaching opportunity. I'm trying to be more honest and open about those things as well with all of you guys. When I take a goddess day, I'm like, hey guys, I'm taking goddess day. I'm not going to be available today. I'm going to be actually off all my social medias. I'm not going to be, but I will respond to all the things tomorrow, and I'll be accessible tomorrow and all the things. This gives you guys permission. It's awareness. I'm not hiding any of the things. I'm not just gone. They're not like, where's Autumn? Like, where is she? Like, I'm right here, right? I'm right here, but it gives you awareness of where I'm at, and it gives you permission that it's okay to shut off and do the same thing. And I don't feel bad about it, right? It makes me feel better because I don't feel like I'm just hiding and people are like, where's Autumn? They know exactly where I am and where to find me and what to expect from me. So I love that. Do the self-care that you need, and then check yourself when you need it. You're gonna know, like you know, but this comes down to trusting in you as well. Stacy says we can oversleep and that can be just as draining. It's not getting enough sleep. 100%, absolutely. So again, check in with you. You know you, but you need to call bullshit on you, right? Lean into what you need when you need it, and that's okay. And when you feel like, could I actually do the things, but I'm not letting myself do the things, that's another conversation to have. Yes, that is good. Alex, speaking of self-care, it's my bedtime here in the UK, so I'll catch up tomorrow. Thank you so much. I'm new to this group, so thank you for having me. I'm so excited that you're here, Alex. Have a wonderful night. Good night. Thank you for tuning in. The question is, why is it taking me so long to snap back? Well, why is it taking you so long to snap back? What's the resistance? What's on the other side of it? Are you being hard on yourself? Do you just genuinely need this time? Have you been, I know that you've gone through a big transition. You've left a job. You're going full into your entrepreneurship journey. There's a lot been going on. Like sometimes we're spiritually cleansing as well. Sometimes you're going through a lot of breakthroughs, and sometimes your body needs to get rid of things. But at the end of the day, this comes from a lot of self-awareness. You have to know you, or working with a coach. That's the other part of it, is having somebody in your corner, and having a coach in your corner is huge, because I will call my clients out. Sometimes I know when they need the time and the care, and I'm like, yeah, girl, you need to do this, because I know. But then there's times where I catch the patterns, and they're allowing themselves to say, this is self-care, and I'm just sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. And they sleep all weekends, and they sleep all nights, and they feel like they can't do anything for themselves, and they're not getting anywhere in their business. And that's where, as a coach, I call them out on their bullshit. So sometimes if you also don't have somebody in your corner who can know you and hold that space for you, that's also something I really, really suggest. Success is so close, and it's scary. Boom. That's massive. That's a massive breakthrough, right? This is where we can get so freaking scared of our own goddamn success that we can self-sabotage it. I know that if I just do the thing, it's on the other side of it. It's going to all take off. I'm going to have people signing up for my program. I'm going to have more people in my group. I'm going to make this X amount of money. I know that, because I know my gut's telling me that when I go past this finish line, when I meet this new level of me on the other side of it, when I do the thing that I don't think I can do, I'm going to have the thing that I've always wanted. And when that scares us, if we're not ready to receive it, if we have a block in receiving it, if we don't feel worthy of receiving it, we're going to do the things that we know how to do subconsciously to block ourselves from having the thing that we want. So that is sometimes where we do oversleep and we don't actually do the thing that we want to do. 100%. So this is just knowing you. Yes, so much this. Thinking there's a set amount of time required to unwind and rest. Reset. Sorry. Oh my gosh. We put that limitation on ourselves. I had to learn that it's okay to take as much time as necessary and give myself grace. 100%. 100 freaking percent. And this was something with Megan. Like, Megan, I knew with you, I'm like, girl, the problem with you is not hard work. I know you know how to work hard. I know you know how to do the things. I know you know how to hustle, but what you don't know how to do is take time for you. You don't know how to receive self-love and care and time for you. I know that. Like, as your coach, I know that. So that's where a big focus is allowing you to resist, or to sit with it, to surrender, and allow yourself to receive that self-care without shame, essentially, and guilt in what that's meaning about you, saying like, oh, I'm lazy, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Again, self-awareness is key if you don't have a coach or somebody in your corner who can kind of hold that safe space for you. Now, the last question that there was on the post, unless there's anybody else, I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you, Megan. It means so much that you were able to walk through that and come out on the other side of that, just like receiving self-care like a freaking boss. Obsessed with it. So the last question was, how do you structure a coaching call? And to be completely honest, this is kind of a hard question. If there's other questions too before we wrap up, please let me know, because this is the last question I got. So I'd love to answer anything if there is anything else coming up for you. But how to structure a coaching call? Now, this is kind of individual, because there's people who go through coaching certifications, and you're going to learn a certain process through a coaching certification. Someone's going to teach you how to do. Some people just find their own groove and they do their own thing, right? They do their own thing on a coaching call. Depends on the program, the container, if it's a mastermind session, if it's a program, a training, what type of call it is that you're actually having, one-on-one client versus a program. So if we're talking courses and programs itself for coaching calls, what I personally do, which I can only speak on for me, is I personally do a lot of Q&A sessions. So that's a space where I'm not leading the way. Like, I'll do training calls, but in my coaching courses, I usually have settings like on Zoom oftentimes, and it's an open Q&A. This is a space for you to get what you need. So I'm not coming into that space to coach with content, right? I'm not coming in there to teach. I'm coming in there to coach. So it's up to me to create the space, create the vibration, create the expectation of what is going on in here. This is what the space is for, and ask me a question. So that is what a coaching call is, right? Coaching is not teaching. Coaching is coaching. Coaching a lot of the times is not the speaking and the telling. There is a beautiful mix that I have with my clients where I will ask a question like, how are you doing? What are we celebrating? What's going on today? Update me on all the things, and we'll start jamming out at what happened this week and where they're at and where they need support. And I'll I'll maybe ask a question, or I will give space for them to be heard and for them to talk. And then I will give a little bit of, whether it's feedback or question, or I give them something to bounce that idea off, right? I'm their space to be heard, right? So my job as a coach is to receive the information and to learn. And then to ask the questions that they need to hear to have the breakthroughs that they need to have. So sometimes it will be something that I need to share like this. Sometimes it will be a teaching moment, but more times than not, what I really try to hold space for is asking the right questions so then they can have the breakthrough that they need to have in regards to what coaching is and coaching sessions. Running an actual training call is kind of a different story. But if we're talking how do I run a coaching call itself, that is essentially it. So hosting a space where they can ask their questions, creating an open container for me to basically be their support and their guide, to be heard, and then to mirror back what they're saying, mirror back the questions that they need to answer so then they can kind of see their own breakthrough through that time together, if that makes sense. Is there a meditation exercise you would suggest to become more open to receiving success and spotlight, breaking through my barriers? There's actually a really great, Kayla, there's actually a really great meditation that I love doing in regards to receiving your ideal client, which I feel actually helps me a lot in regards to also receiving success. When it comes to, for me personally, what my process is, the meditation, my process kind of goes in between the two. I like to be able to journal out and to write down like what my bullshit beliefs are. Why do I feel like I can't have the things that I want? Why am I scared of this success? Why am I scared of being seen? What am I scared of happening? What's going on in my head? Because when it builds up in our heads, it like, right? It just like, it's so much going on. But when you take it out of here and down here, you can see it for what it is. I don't know how many times I've just asked my clients a question and they start saying it and they're like, oh, the fuck am I saying? I've said this to myself actually in calls with my own coach. I start talking it out. I'm like, now that I'm saying this or writing this out, I can see how silly this sounds. Why was I even thinking this to begin with? So it's first important to create awareness around what it is that you're thinking and you're feeling and what's going on up here. So write it all down and call fucking bullshit on it. Allow yourself to see why this is all bullshit for you, believing and feeling the things that you're thinking about. And then I like to visualize. I like to visualize that version of me. I like to visualize what it feels like. I like to visualize, being in a space, receiving the clients that I want to receive. What does it feel like to receive them? What does it feel like when they give me a testimonial or they have an aha or a breakthrough and they post about it, they talk about it? What does it feel like when they enter into my channel and I get to help them have this breakthrough? What does it feel like to work with them? I visualize myself receiving them. I visualize myself welcoming them in and absorbing that and knowing I'm safe and supported here and I'm okay. Like I wouldn't be given this if I wasn't meant to be there. So yeah, there's so much we could dive into. There's so much. I will post the meditation in the receiving clients because it really is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful meditations I've ever done. Anybody that I ever suggested to is obsessed with it. So I will share it in here underneath in the comments after for you. But in regards to that, call bullshit on your beliefs, get them out of here and into somewhere so you can actually see them for what they are. And then allow yourself to get really clear on who it is that you want to be. Right? Get clear on what it is that you want and knowing that you're safe and supported here, because I think the number one thing that it comes down to is we want to stay safe, right? We don't want to be put in a position where someone's going to judge us, where we might feel like a fraud, where someone calls us out on our shit. And that comes with the more visibility that you create. The more that you are present in this online world, the more people that you attract in, the more opportunity you have for somebody to disagree with what you're saying, the more opportunity you have for somebody to not get what you're saying, the more opportunity that you have for somebody to not be on board or to judge you. And it's getting okay with that. And sometimes it's like welcoming it the fuck in. It's not a secret, you guys have most likely all seen, I've talked about it. I've had people troll me on my posts. I had one not long ago. I've had people leave me shitty reviews on my podcast when they haven't listened to a single episode, and it's just because they're triggered by what I'm doing, and that's fine. But that's them, right? That's them. I have to know that the more success that I have and the more polarizing that I want to get to be able to attract in the woman that I want to serve and to make the impact in the world that I want to make, I'm going to piss people off. And I need to be in the spotlight to do that. And if I let that hold me back, I'm not gonna impact people in that space. I'm making it about me, and that's not really service at all. You're so damn good at it, Megan. I love you so much. Oh my God, I love you, I love you, I love you. Trisha, that's what I love about you. I have other coaches I didn't learn that great coaches are the ones who can ask great questions. Oh my God, I love you. You're so amazing. Thank you for that. That means so much. Hi, JC. Hi, JC. Oh my God, I miss you. I hope California was so freaking good. I can't wait to hear all about it. Kelsey, hello, hello, hello. I love you. I love you, Kayla. I love you. You're so welcome. So you guys, was there any other questions at all? Was there anything else that was coming through for you that you wanted answered? I love you. Oh my gosh, you guys are just filling up my freaking cup. You are all so good for my ego. I always say that to Melanie. I'm like, you're so good for my ego. But for real, I love every one of you so freaking much. I adore you. So is there any other questions? Does everybody feel like you got what you needed from this training, from this live? Of course, there's so much that I could go into. This is something I could go on for days about. Clearly, we're already over an hour. But I can always do a part 2. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I love you. You're just a doll. That means so much. Yes. What was I saying? Mom brain. If I don't write it down, it doesn't happen. Remember? I hope you guys got everything that you needed from this. I'm really, really excited. I'm going to turn this into podcast. If you did not catch the entire thing, the replay will obviously be available in here right away. It'll go live. But I'm going to convert it into an episode as well for the podcast. So you can catch it again, replay, take some notes if there's anything that you missed. And please, as always, feel free to come back, comment any more questions, post some things in the group. This is going to drive more trainings to come. I'm going to try to do this as weekly as much as possible for you guys, because I really want to make this as a space of transformation, collaboration. I want this to be a huge space for you guys are seeing the results, building your business, getting all my good shit. I want to be able to give you guys all the goods as much as possible. And hopefully, I think my plan as well is I'm kind of in the mixture, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Whether you want to post this below, or I can do a poll in the group. But my heart right now is really centered on creating a program around money. So that's where I'm really feeling called to pull and create for you guys. But I know that there's also one coming on creating the foundations of a business. So I'll definitely cover creating a course inside of there as well. So anyways, I digress. You guys are amazing. You are incredible. I appreciate every single one of you for showing up for this hour and 20 minutes. And whether you stayed the whole time or not, I love you so freaking much. I value every single one of you by showing up, sharing space with me, commenting, engaging, receiving this information, being in this group, connecting with other women. You are lights in my life, and I hope you know how much I value every single one of you. If there is any way I can serve you, as always, please let me know. Connect inside the group. And there will be more of this to come. So have the most wonderful day, you guys. I love you. Bye.